All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hopefully, this thing is not freezing. All right, so in today's live stream, we'll talk about the market data we expect to get this month. It's going to be very critical for the rate cut, the FOMC meeting that we're going to get towards the end of the month. So this economic data is going to play a big role. So yeah, let me check my mic before we continue. Let me check my mic, and hopefully this is not freezing. And then we'll play some chess. The rate cut, the FOMC meeting that we're going to get towards the end of the month. So this economic data is going to play a big role. So yeah, let me check my mic before we continue. Let me check my mic, and hopefully this is not freezing. Okay, so it looks like my mic is good. Okay, so let's go over the data that we're going to get this month. So the first piece of data is the employment data that we're going to get on the 9th. And that is, let's see. So it's a non-farm payrolls and unemployment. Primary driver of Fed expectations. Remember, the Fed has two mandates. So the first mandate is to keep inflation low. And then the second mandate is to stabilize the job market. Right now, the primary mandate or the primary focus is the job market. So that's why a lot of people are paying attention to the data that's going to be coming out this Friday. And then, so that's coming out this Friday. Why it matters: strong job growth and low unemployment can reduce urgency for rate cuts. So we want rate cuts. So for this data, we really want it to come out bad, even though we don't want people to not be employed. But in order for us to get a rate cut, it has to not show up good. Essentially, it has to look like unemployment is going up opposed to stabilizing. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking for Friday's numbers. So the next piece of data is CPI. So I thought that was actually coming out the 9th. What's coming out the 9th is the unemployment numbers. So again, for those of you who don't know what CPI, so it's Consumer Price Index, is a measure of inflation by using goods and services as a metric. And really what the Federal Reserve watches is core CPI, which strips out food and energy, because I think that kind of but it kind of sways the numbers a lot. So they exclude energy and food. And yeah, so core CPI, and then they have, core CPI, and I forget the name they use for the other one, headline CPI. Okay, headline CPI includes energy and food. So that's coming out the 13th, so Tuesday of next week. So be on the lookout for that. That's another piece of data that you should be looking out for if you're interested in rate cuts. Okay, so latest data context. So if we go back to November 2025, CPI came in. And so the data that's coming out next week for CPI is for December. Obviously, we haven't gone through January. So we're not going to be getting January numbers, but January's reporting is going to be for December. The last reporting that we got was for November, which was in December. It came in at 2.7% year over year, below the consensus forecast of 3.1, and below October's reading. That softer inflation reading helped lift market bets on future Fed cuts. So that reading for November wasn't as helpful for rate cuts, but again, remember, the Fed has switched its focus to job stability opposed to inflation. And lately, we've been seeing bad job numbers, so that's why we got that rate cut in December, and we got those 3 rate cuts back to back. I believe it was September, October, and then December. If we check the possibility of getting a rate cut here in January, it's not looking so good. I'm looking at it right now. It's 16.6%, so it hasn't moved much. So it looks like we won't be getting a rate cut. This could change if we get some crazy data from the jobs report this Friday, and maybe CPI comes in a little bit hot. But we still got to see. So what else will we need to look out for? So we said CPI, we said unemployment. The next piece of data is PPI. So PPI, Producer Price Index, measures inflation upstream. So think of wholesale, people actually producing the consumer goods. So a rising PPI can eventually filter in CPI, hinting at future inflation pressures. Softer PPI can reinforce disinflation trends. So similar to CPI, if it reads high, it just suggests that inflation's getting worse and we need to do something about it. Okay, so the next piece of data that should be looking out for this month is retail sales, housing, and GDP components. Retail sales gauges consumer demand. Strong consumption can support economic momentum. Right, the more people are buying, the more people are spending. Just suggests that the economy is doing good, or people have money to spend, and they're not just focusing on their needs. Okay. Housing starts and building permits reflect construction activity. Soft data here can signal broad economic cool down. This is very important too. Things like, are people constructing more houses? Did they take a pause? Are the numbers lower from last month? These are all things you want to look into if you're a person watching out for interest rate cuts. This is all data that will help the Fed make a overall decision. So yeah, those are the pieces of data that we have to look out for this month. CPI, PPI, job numbers, retail sales, GDP. Those are kind of like the main things that come out pretty much every month. And the Fed watches that to make their decision. But yeah, so now for the markets, so crypto actually bumped up pretty nicely over the weekend. Bitcoin crossed over 90K. Altcoins gained a lot over the weekend. I would say about 5 to 10%, depending on which altcoin or which sector. I think the AI sector took a nice pump up. So yeah, it could be telling for this week. Depending on the numbers we get, that can continue the rally we're getting over the weekend. Usually the rally that we get over the weekend for crypto doesn't usually last unless there's some type of catalyst coming up during the week. It usually doesn't last that long. So we just got to see where the market goes on Monday and how we start off the week. And then we can tell what's going to happen with crypto. And then equities, I think futures opens up later today, but equities obviously doesn't trade 24/7, but we'll see how it opens up on Monday and we'll see how the market plays out. Again, it should be interesting. 2026 should be interesting. I think we have a good environment as far as interest rate cuts and liquidity being injected into the market. So I think the environment is set for a good rally in equities and crypto. And obviously we've seen an increase in prices in gold and aluminum and those precious metals. And usually after those things pump, we usually get a pump in things like Bitcoin and altcoins and things like that. Ethereum also broke 3,000. I think it was touching it for a little bit, but it convincingly broke 3,000 over the weekend. I think it's at 3,100. So very positive movement in the crypto market this weekend. Okay, man, hopefully that wasn't freezing. But yeah, okay, so let's play some chess. I'll play a few games, and that'll be it for the day. I knew you were going to do that. I'll take that. That's fine. I'll let you take it. I really didn't care for that pawn. Oh, that was a blunder. I misclicked there. I misclicked. He didn't want to decline. He just took. You know how people are That he could clearly tell that was a misclick. But people don't want to do the rematch. They just want the win. Those are people that are dishonest. Let's just say that. Because I would have took the win, but I would have at least accepted the rematch. But it's okay. Things happen. Oh, that was me. That was good. I didn't see that, which is fine. I don't know if he sees this though. Um, Oof, I think we're good. All right. My mic is in the way. Um, ah, this dude might have me. Yeah, he got me. Unfortunately, I can't do anything. Man, I moved too slow. got me. I don't, man, that was crazy. All right, let's and then I gave him that. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's sick. Just like bum rushing, which is fine. That's kind of like their plan. Um, this darn mic is freaking moving too much. Let's do this. And then I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to move this this thing over. All right, he got me there. All right, let's see. I said I was gonna play two, but I'm just getting destroyed right now. Okay. I gotta get this rook in the game. And I could throw this into... I'm gonna have to connect these. Let's throw this. This freaking mic is like being ridiculous. Okay, if I do that, he'll have that to take. You know what? Let's go ahead and double this. I'll take that out. Wait. Let's do this. If I take... all right, let me think about this. Huh. If I take, or if I take there, let's see. Checkmate. Got him. All right, let's see if he wants to run it back. I doubt it. Or maybe he does. Who knows? I wonder why he was thinking about that so much now that I think about it. I'm trying to understand because he could have just ran the clock. This is a good example of using the time in blitz. So let's go over the game. Right, so this is pretty equal. Exchange some pieces, just keep moving stuff along. Move. And we're pretty close on time, so it's not like he's up on time or anything like that. But here I was just trying to gain that second, the second floor, the line here. They say when you put your rook on the opponent's, like, I forget what they call it. We'll just call it the line of defense. Let's just say that. You gain a lot of power. So I was trying to get my rooks up here, move that. He was going after my queen. I attacked his rook. I wanted to double my rooks, but since he put his rook there, I was like, let me just attack it, and then I could get my bishop to get active. So once he moved that, then I connected the rooks. He dropped that pawn down. Here, I don't know what I was trying to do there. I was just trying to see if I can make some play, but move. I didn't know what I was doing there. I was just moving my queen. Sometimes you got to move like your piece in a safe spot just to make a move and to figure out what you're going to do next. I found that. So here, he's attacking my queen. At this point, if I take his horse, his horse, we're pretty much equal at this point. So I take, he takes back. Now I have both of my rooks on the opponent's rank, top rank. And at this point, we're equal in time. Kind of equal. I'm 6 seconds up right now. He has 126. I have 132. So here is where I think I take a bunch of time, because what I was thinking, I was like, maybe there's some type of checkmate. Well, actually, no. I think I make another move because he's guarding this. Or no, let me see what I do here. Okay, yeah, so that's what I do. I attack his queen because I have the rooks at the top. And then he moves it out the way. And now when he moves it out the way, what I'm thinking is I could sacrifice my rook. I know he's not going to take with the queen, because if he does, then I could just take with my rook. So I know he has to take with his rook. But once he takes with his rook, this pawn is free, and I could put his king in check, which is what I did. And then I figured I would have some type of checkmate. So he did. I took. He took. I checked. Now, what I didn't get here, when I took this pawn, he moved back. I wonder why he didn't put his... Oh, he put this there because then I would have did this. And then he would have did here. And then I would have did that. And that would have been checkmate. So either way, he was in a check. He was screwed. So that's why he didn't. I couldn't see that, though. I probably would have saw it if he would have made that move. But okay. So that was a good game. I lost 2. So let me go back to the games that we were playing before, because I want to see how to counteract those bum rushes that people do. So this one was kind of equal, this game. I could have won one of these. So let's do a game review. So this one's kind of equal. He was 78, I was 74. So we kind of both played really good. Here. So they're saying to have developed my... Yeah, actually, you know what? That probably would have been good, too, to attack this. And then boom. But I don't like that because it just destroys my structure. So, okay. So I could have did that and attacked that. All right. I just want to look for the errors that I did. So that's green. That's green. That's green. Your best move was to pin a knight to the king. Okay. I see that. But then he would have castled, and then his rook would have been free. All right, so I don't really care for that. So I could have taken with this, and then if he didn't move this rook out the way, I could have got that. So that's something to pay attention to. So he took that, but he took the bishop, and then I developed the horse. So that was good play for me. It wasn't really that bad, and it showed green on, I don't know, Stockfish or whatever. Computer. Okay. So I take, that's fine. I move. It's inaccurate, but that's fine in my opinion. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know why when he did that. I should have taken this pawn, and then I would have still had that. And then it's saying move that right there. Oh, I see, because it's planning for me to go to E4, I believe. Not yet. Okay. So he does that. And then he does this. Move this back. Move that. And now I think they want to attack the queen. I'm just seeing how this is developing. All right, so this one I did pretty well. I just needed to figure out how to maneuver the pieces a little bit better. But I want to go to the one where I was just getting bum rushed, which I think were the last two, the one before the last game. It was this one here. So let's see what happened here. You just like bum rush me. So this one he played exceptionally well. It showed. Okay, so he did that. So again, I'm just looking for the red, the mistakes, not the inaccuracies. So that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. That's an inaccuracy. This move loses a rook. And show the follow-up. And that's what he did. That's what he did. Because he had my thing pinned. So I had to move before he came down with this. When he pinned, that was the problem. When he pinned, I needed to move this right here. And then he would have moved this right here. And then I could have kept it right there. Does it move this queen, a king? Okay, move this here. There. I want to see if it ever moves this queen or king to h7. Here. Take. Yeah, I just needed to I don't know why I didn't do that. I needed to attack the bishop. And I think that was the problem for the other ones as well. I needed to attack the bishop. Although it messes up the structure, I'm fine with that. All right, so that's what I did wrong there. And what was the other one that I got bum rushed on? I think it was this one. I didn't let him get to 1200, so I was happy about that. And again, I lost a piece here. Your pawn is undefended, so this move loses material. Yeah. And yeah, I lose material there. So now he's up. I can't do anything. I can't move this out the way. I can't do anything. So what I needed to do was calculate that. So instead of doing that, I just needed to do this, move the queen out the way. All right, so let's play one more, and then that'll be it for the day. Very insightful. You got to review your games in order to see what you did wrong. If you don't review your games, you're just playing. All right, so let's see. Keeping all those notes in mind. Let's see what we can do. I think now I can attack. Yeah, now I can attack. I got to move this up and get this out the way. I got to pay attention to that. I think I'm going to move this bishop. That's what I learned from last game. Well, actually, no, I don't need to anymore. Because maybe I move. Okay. Take that. Here. He's going to move this pawn down, I think. I got to get this bishop out of here. It's going to be trouble. Okay, so that's what he wants to do there. Yeah, he has some strong pawns right now, and I have to break it up. So I think what I'm going to do is move this back. And then I have to move this to F1. I'm up on time, but he's really relying on these pawns. Yeah, and I can't do that right now. Let's move this up. Just gotta let him waste that time because right now I can't mess with this pawn structure, unfortunately. And he's gonna lose a piece if he doesn't move that. I'll let him take that pawn if he takes it. And he loses a piece. So he wasn't paying attention. And then I could take this. Yeah, I think I could pretty much save it. Let's see. Do I want to give that up? I don't think I want to give that up right now. If he moves that down, I'm going to attack his queen. Oof, I didn't see that. That was good. That was a good move that I didn't see. He may get... I'm going to have to sacrifice. Right now, it's getting real iffy. There we go. Wow, I didn't see that. I did not see that. I did not see that. I can't believe I did not see that. So, what did I need to do? When he did this... Wow, all I needed to do is move that up. That was such a trap right there. I hate when I lose those. So if he would have taken that, I still would have been good. He would have lost. Yep, that was a trap. That was a trap for sure. Is he still playing? He's all right, cool. All right, let's do one more. I hate to lose like that. Oh, that was a terrible loss. But I was winning. Okay, let's see. Let's just do that. Let's do that. That's fine. I think what I can do is I could take that. And take that. Take that. And then I could do that. I could do that. Should be okay. It's getting tricky, but yeah, like what is he gonna do? We could do this. He's trying to protect that. There we go. And then I'm going to try to sacrifice. Let's just move this over. Okay, I don't want to do any of that. Let's do this. Let's do that. Darn it. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm gonna have to move my queen or my if I can move my king in here and get it, hide it, should be in good shape. And he's leaving his queen open. I don't know if he knows that. Should be fine. He better be careful. All right, I think we're good. I think we won this. Out of danger here. Hi, hey, what's up, Ghoulie? What's up? Boom. Should be all good now. Should be easy work at this point. That's fine. I'll let you take it. Here, protect. And that's it. That is game. All right, guys. That was the last game. I played like 3 or 4 more than what I expected to play. But that's how you go over it in Blitz. You always play a little bit more than what you need to. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we have to expect from the market. We have jobs numbers coming out this Friday, which is going to potentially increase the percentage of the chance of getting a rate cut this month. The FOMC meeting is the 28th and the 29th. So there is some time for that percentage to go up. But right now it's sitting at 16.6% for the possibility of a rate cut. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a rate cut this month. But again, we still got 3 rate cuts at the end of 2025. And it's, okay, I see. Yeah, see you, man. Take care. So those should be taking effect this year. Okay, so those should be helping out the market. We should see the effects of those soon, in my opinion. And then we are getting liquidity injections from the Fed. So that should be pumping up the market as well. But again, we still got to wait for the CPI data the next week. We get the jobs data this week, and then PPI along with the CPI next week. All right, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.